Oh, I'm rendering a premonition. It's a third episode of Squared Circle. Break. What's this show called again?
Squared Circle. That was almost
Breakdown.
a great intro. It
Squared
was
Circle
almost a
Breakdown.
great.
It is almost a
That
great
was-
intro. It was
That was almost a.
wonderful.
That was almost a great intro until you forgot the name of your own show.
Well, I am broken right now. So.
Yeah, the man has a point.
Hey,
Unlike Matt Hardy.
Look who's back.
Hola, mis
Guap-
amigos. Senor Guapo is back again. And yes, I finally
Guapo's
got that
back.
11-foot ladder.
Good.
Yay!
I had a talk with Donald Trump, and we put the ladder up to let him go. But then, as soon as everybody else started coming after him, we knocked it over.
Yeah, it was no good. It was no bueno.
No bueno.
Because nobody's capable of just setting a ladder back up again.
Hell no! Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. It's that time for Steven, or Monoxide's storyline of the week, and I love this. I think everybody's gonna love this one.
I like how he introduced a new thing and it pretended it wasn't a new thing, like that we always do it. But go ahead.
But I mean, after all, I've done it the last 2 episodes, so why not keep up the tradition?
Have you done it the last 2 episodes?
Yeah,
Because I've been in those. Because I've been in those 2 episodes.
Okay, last episode I talked about how Triple H wanted to shake up NXT. So
Okay.
But
Now I know what this. Now I know what the gimmick is. Okay,
just
let's
to
go.
refresh, I just wanted to refresh Guapo. I'm gonna have Heath Slater, Harambe, and Hideo Itami get together, and they're gonna be Triple H. And they're going
Okay, I'm good with it.
See, there we go. And they're all gonna be forms of Triple H. Hideo will be a Blue Blood, Harambe will be the Cerebral Assassin, and Heath Slater will be DX. It's wonderful. Anyways,
I'm good with that. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, but you're gonna love this one. Okay.
Okay.
This is why Guapo needed to be on the show.
Yes. So anyway.
Guapo indulges this craziness.
So one night, God decides to turn heel on Jesus. And,
Oh God, no.
And he is going to lay the pipe bomb of the century, inspired by CM Punk's pipe bomb from 2011. And so here he goes. Jesus Christ, while you lay there crucified on that cross there, I want you to digest this. I want you to listen to me, because before you resurrect in 3 days, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. I don't hate you, Jesus. I don't even dislike you. I do love you. I love you more than most people up in heaven. I just hate this idea that you are a martyr, because you're not. I'm the martyr. I'm the martyr of Christianity. There's one thing that you're better at than I am, and that's kissing the Virgin Mary's ass. You're as good as kissing ass as Joseph was. I don't know if you're as good as Moses, though. He's a pretty good ass kisser. Always was and still is. Oops, I'm breaking the 10 Commandments.
Are you just rehashing the CM Punk promo?
Can you let me finish?
Sure, finish.
I am the best being in the world. I've been the best since day one, where I've been loved and prayed to since that day, because Satan saw something in me that nobody else wanted to admit.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm a Satan guy.
Can we do commentary on this promo after this?
No, there was no commentary for CM Punk's promo. You can commentate afterwards.
Yes,
That's what I mean.
Okay. Yes, I'm a Satan guy. You know who else was a Satan guy? Damien. And he sinned just like I'm sinning. But the biggest difference between me and Damien is that I am going to remain as heaven's beloved leader. I've grabbed so many of the Bible's imaginary brass rings that it finally dawned on me that they're just that. They're completely imaginary. And the only thing that's real is me. And the fact that day in and day out for almost 4,000 years I have proved to everyone that I am the best at cleansing sins, shining hope, even at forgiving. Nobody can touch me. And yet, no matter how many times I prove it, we still have atheism running amok. Science is trying to disprove us. My name's being used as a cuss word. I don't get prayed into school. I'm certainly blamed for all the attacks that happen in the name of me happening. I'm taken off of currency. My churches are made to be separate from the government. I'm not prayed to in mosques. I'm not prayed to in temples. And the fact of the matter is I should be. And trust me, this isn't sour grapes. But the fact that Muhammad can have his image protected, but I can't, makes me sick. let's get something straight. Those of you who are cheering me right now, you are the biggest part of this crucifixion as anyone else, because you sit idly by as people start to not believe in me. You are the one sinning and disrespecting your God, and on Sunday, you try to repent your sins, asking me to forgive you and heal your soul because you're too rebellious to your righteous leader. I'm bringing Armageddon to you all on Judgment Day, and hell, who knows, maybe you'll all land in the fiery pits of hell. Maybe you'll end up in purgatory. Hey, Grim Reaper, how do you doing? The reason Judgment Day is coming is because of you people, because after I arrive, you're going to continue to sin against your God. I've got the world in my hands. The sinners will keep sinning, and I understand that. But man will keep sinning to spite himself. He's a devil when he should be an angel. You want to know why he's not an angel? Because he surrounds himself with glad-handing, nonsensical, douchebag atheists like Richard Dawkins, who's going to tell man everything that he wants to hear. And I'd like to think that maybe this world will be better with him burning in hell, but his sins are going to be carried on by his idiotic wife and his stupid son and the rest of his stupid family. Let me tell you a personal story about the Last Supper, okay? You know how Jesus predicted his betrayal? And then the mic cuts off.
I have thoughts.
Hold on.
Okay, go. You know what? You get to go first.
Don't do drugs, kids.
That's right. Pot is awesome.
It's like you wanted to do that promo and then just added Bible words to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus, help us.
Because there were things in there that didn't. Some of it went amazingly together, and then some of it was like way off.
That's the point. It's a wrestling promo.
Oh God.
God is turning heel, and this was a night.
But he's doing it on himself?
Well,
No, he's doing it on Jesus.
he's
Which
doing
is
it on Jesus.
himself.
No, Jesus is his son, the image of him. He's just an image.
Wait,
But in... never mind. I'm picking my battles. Nope.
Monoxide doesn't go to church.
That's just true. And then, this was an idea that me and Stuart came up with.
Of course. There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
No. The whole promo was mine. But the idea that me and Stuart came up with was he's going to be called God the Father. And then he's going to have his hose, and they're going to be, it's going to be Mother Teresa, and, who's that fucking Westboro Baptist Church chick? Oh, fuck. Shirley Phelps, there we go. Those are going to be his hose. It's perfect.
Jesus forgive us.
And he's going to have a feud with Christian's long-lost brother, Jewish.
I need to go. I'm not even Catholic, and I need to go to church and ask for forgiveness after this.
It's great. It's wonderful. I think this would be a top-notch storyline, and I think it would make any company with any ounce of decency a lot of money. Especially since churches make a lot of money.
Well, certainly makes King of the Ring look better.
Oh!
Submit it to Global Force. They might do it.
I mean, yeah, after all, they've got a girlfriend beater as their world champion. Why not?
Can we talk about that?
Sure, why not?
I mean, it's just a continuation of last week.
Yes, we talked about
But
Rio.
They released the audio of them essentially having the meltdown and, like, Paige screaming that he ruined her career and shit.
Oh, the blame game. Oh, it's somebody else's fault. Alright, to be perfectly fair, he is playing, or this whole thing is the typical domestic violence abuse symptom.
Stockholm.
Yeah, where he basically abuses you and you try to find ways to fault yourself. You're blaming you because she released a blog earlier today.
Yeah, well, first she said it wasn't her.
That's what she first said, but then she said later on, oh, well, actually, I threw the beer at him. I'm the one that was going to get charges pressed against. Now, this is all because there's so many sides to the story. Her brothers have said that she's got bruises on her, even more so since dating this guy. Obviously,
well, it's not like she's wrestling right now, so where else is she getting them?
I follow her on Instagram, and I do not see bruises, personally. But
then again, that's hard to judge with her Instagram because, yeah, you don't see nothing. However, pictures can be manipulated very easily.
Yeah.
That's just it. And not only that, she's probably hiding them in certain areas, in clothing, etc. So who knows? I don't know. Here's my thing. I posted earlier that both of these individuals are sick in the head. They are okay. We had the joking part earlier. I'm a smartass. I will take full credit for that. So as I'm saying this, I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm actually serious. Monoxide is coming back for like 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, you would think. You would think he had been put away in a grave somewhere. But
he comes out every once in a while like a zombie.
Yeah, or like Lance Bass out of his closet. So. Anyways.
Well, that was a weird reference, but anyways.
I know. That's the drugs kicking in. These two need some serious fucking help because if things don't get rectified, somebody's gonna get seriously hurt or even killed. And I do not, for the life of me, again, joking aside, I don't want to be hearing another Chris Benoit tale. I went through it once. It was a very horrible thing to go through. Now, granted, I'm not really a fan of either or. I was a huge fan of Benoit, Wild Pegasus, Stevie Richards, whatever you want to call him. But the fact that a wrestler or wrestlers getting involved in this type of mess and then giving a black eye to the business again, it's not needed. It's not needed. Especially as much shit as Vince gets, he handles it like a champ for the most part. And he doesn't deserve this, especially since it's not Vince's fault.
Can we just... He's just a dick. Alberto Del Rio's just a dick.
He's sick. He's mentally sick.
No, that's letting him off the hook.
No. It's actually not, because being a dick, it's like, I'm a dick. I'm a fucking prick. Okay?
I'm a jerk.
I'm an asshole. I will be the first one to fucking tell you. The one thing I won't do is I will never put my hands on my girlfriend like that. No fucking way. That has just never crossed my mind. My girlfriend is the one I care about the most. I would never do what Del Rio's doing. But Del Rio's sick because this is not the only thing that's making him sick. He's not just beating his girlfriend. He's going out in public constantly berating a company that made him millions of dollars. He's constantly getting drunk and getting into fights with people. It's not just...
Someone say millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. But
sorry.
Yeah. The point is that this guy has problems. Because if he didn't, it would just be Paige. He's doing this to everybody. He beat up a Ninja Turtle, for fuck's sakes, because he apparently put his hands on Paige the wrong way. To be fair, maybe he did. Maybe he grabbed her ass or something. But really, one punch, done. Why do you gotta beat up the fucker to the point he's in the hospital? He's sick. There's something mentally wrong with this guy.
Yes.
I think it has to do with a midlife crisis, and the fact that he is no longer a part of the biggest company in the world. They didn't want to.
I think it's that, and also the fact that, he just went through a divorce, and now he's dating this 25-year-old who is, honestly, I think Paige is still fairly immature.
Impressionable
As well, and just, he can drag her around and do whatever he wants with her. Pun intended.
He literally is treating her like a perro.
Exactly. Like a perro.
Anyways.
Lord.
Do we have any more thoughts? Because I'm done with this shit.
I have no good segue, so let's talk about King of the Ring. Or do we want to talk about Great Balls of Fire?
Let's do King of the Ring because we actually advertised that. So.
Yes.
And this pay-per-view is absolutely fantastic. It was one of the best pay-per-views that the company's ever had.
It's a complete shit show.
That's why it's awesome.
I was asking Guapo and
it makes
Monoxide.
Fastlane look good.
I told Monoxide before the show that I was going to say this in the show. I don't have a lot of thoughts on each individual match because it kind of feels like, back in like the old WWE games where you could have the computer like go up against itself.
Yes.
It's like they've done that, but they've chosen the same characters. So, like, it's the same guy, but with a slightly different outfit. Every guy on this pay-per-view looks exactly the same.
So as Kevin Nash referenced this year, 1995, you were not a wrestler, you were an occupation. You were a garbage man. You were a dentist. You were a mortician. You were a blue blood. You were a king. You were a Native American. You were a guy working for the IRS. And speaking of IRS, that was the first match.
It was the first match of the night. It was Savio Vega versus IRS. Except he was not called IRS. He was called by his full name.
Erwin R. Shyster, yes. But the funny thing about this was I think this was IRS's last match as a full-time performer because I think he became a road agent after this. And this was not actually technically a part of the show. This was part of the pre-show.
Yeah, it was a pre-show. It was whoever won this match got to be in the King. It was a qualifier match.
Yes.
Whoever won this match got to be in the King of the Ring tournament, and they would face Yokozuna.
And I think the reason for that was Razor Ramon got hurt. He was originally in that spot, and then Razor got hurt, so they had this sloppy match. And Savio won.
And it was sloppy. It was so bad.
It was a very sloppy.
It was all over the place. It was just... This makes me extremely happy NXT is the thing now.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, guys, let me take you back to, like, 1993. One of the biggest storylines of WrestleMania 9 was that IRS and Ted DiBiase smashed Brutus Beefcake's face. And he had to wear the thing that Cody Rhodes wore, or Rusev.
Yes.
And so they had him, and Hogan came back to avenge, because him and Beefcake were supposed to be friends, so it led to a tag team title match. Now, we go from IRS and Ted DiBiase going up against one of the biggest stars in the history of this business to being in a pre-show match, losing in 5 minutes in a sloppy fucking fest to Savio Vega. You would think that IRS would go out on a bigger note. You think?
Apparently not.
And the funny thing is, Money Inc. at that time was just a tag team. Then it became this big group where you had IRS, you had Ted DiBiase, you had Nikolai Volkov, you had Tatanka.
You had a bunch of people, because Ted DiBiase was in, let's see, I've written it down, 1, 2, 3... He was involved in 3 different matches.
Including
that night.
Including the main event, because that year he was involved in the main event of WrestleMania 11, because he was representing Bam Bam when he faced Lawrence Taylor, which is funny. It's just I can't fathom why this group, which was too cartoony for its own good, became the focal point of the first quarter of 1995. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. WrestleMania. Let's see, what was that? In '93?
That was 9.
That was
WrestleMania 9.
WrestleMania 9. Yes, I was only 6 months old whenever WrestleMania 9.
Damn, I was 3. No, wait, was that 93? I was 3.
Yeah, 93.
I was 3 going on to 4.
I was only 6 months old.
I was screw you guys. I'm not talking about my age.
You're 2 years older than me, okay?
You're old. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not 2 years older than you.
Me?
I'm older than that.
You're 6 years older than me.
You were born in February of 87. I was born in April of 89. That's 2 years.
Okay.
Aha!
I'm still old.
Yep, you are.
Shut up, Guapo.
Our youth is dying out, but hey, 30's the new 20, right? Anyway,
it is absolutely not.
Orange is the new black.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm 28, but I feel like I'm 45. So,
shit.
Yes, I have back problems. So, anyways, after Savio Vega got this great win, he goes up against Yokozuna. who had two
Oh,
managers.
also, side note, Razor Ramon is in about half the matches, too, or...
Yeah, because he's with Savio.
Because he was with Savio the whole time.
Now,
Savio's also in half the matches, because he interferes in 2 matches.
no, what happened is, apparently they were trying to build Savio up like the Rocky Balboa story, because they were in, where were they? In Philadelphia. So
They were.
Yes, this pay-per-view was held, because, well, I'll get to it later, but there's a significant
No,
reason.
I was saying they were, as in I'm agreeing.
Oh, yes. Okay, so anyways, yeah, they were in Philadelphia, and they were trying to rekindle the Rocky storyline with Savio Vega. And he has this match with Yokozuna, and, you know, in the first year of Yokozuna's wrestling career, he was...
I've never been more bored watching wrestling than watching Yokozuna wrestle. I'm sorry.
Well, this was when he really got fat. I mean, he was always fat. This is when it got, like, so bad he couldn't move. At least in 93, he could move. Somewhat. He still was limited. But here, he was even more limited than ever before. He got so bad. So bad fat. So, I don't even remember what the fuck happened in this match. I just remember Savio pretty much tried to bust his ass to get something out of this.
It was a lot of nothing.
Can we talk about the sweet would you call it dreads that the road dog, or I'm sorry, the roadie
Oh!
Yes,
had?
that's right.
Yes.
So we're moving on.
Also the
Savio
sweet
Vega
mullet
won.
that Bob Holly had.
Before we finished the Yokozuna match, I remember how it ended. It ended in a countout.
Yes.
Savio Vega won via countout.
Yes.
And now we move on to Bob Holly versus
The roadie.
the Roadie, which I've seen both Bob Holly and the Road Dog. You know, later on in life, they are unrecognizable.
Bob Holly.
And also,
definitely.
did Road Dogg shrink at some point? Because I feel like he's shorter today than he was.
Maybe. But, I just remember this match for one... I think it was this match. It was either this match or his match with Savio later. But I'm pretty sure it was this match. Where Vince McMahon just broke out in, like, saying this one line that made me laugh so hard. He basically said, "Can you imagine King Roadie?" And I'm just like, yes.
Oh, yes.
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 I could so imagine the Road Dog, the Roadie, winning this tournament. So
Right.
imagine it.
Which, by the way, this tournament did make me realize something.
Yeah.
All the shit we give Michael Cole and all the rumors that we hear about Vince McMahon constantly yelling in Michael Cole's ear about how he wants things said, how he wants them done and everything. Michael Cole is just doing his best impression of Vince McMahon on commentary.
I would say he's
That's
better.
what it feels like to me, is that I felt like I was listening to Michael Cole with Vince McMahon's voice.
No, you know what's funny about Vince McMahon is, I remember, I know we're getting off track, but I remember watching Survivor Series 1993, and there was a Survivor Series match. It involved Bam Bam Bigelow, Bastion Booger, and the Head Shrinkers, and they were going up against 4 Doinks, and the Doinks just happened to be the Bushwhackers and Men on a Mission. One of Men on a Mission is a significant part of tonight, or of this pay-per-view, excuse me. But what's funny is that these Bushwhackers are coming out, and they've got the Doink the Clown face paint, and the Doink the Clown hair, and all that, and they're doing their Bushwhacker thing, but they're wearing the Doink the Clown face paint, and all you could see is Vince McMahon going, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, like it's like he's trying to laugh along, but he's laughing so it sounds so evil, like ha ha, I already got the money in my pocket, ha 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 ha. It's like, oh. Thank you for reminding everybody you are just robbing people of their time and money by having Bastion Booger on your pay-per-view. Anyways.
Yeah.
And that's the signal for tonight. Same thing. Anyways.
The Roadie with Jeff Jarrett, who is Intercontinental Champion at the time,
Double J.
win this match. They win this match, move on in the tournament. Any other thoughts?
The ending felt fucked up. I could have swore there was like a botch at the ending when Rhodey.
Which ending?
Oh yeah.
The ending with Rhodey and Bob Holly, where he pinned him. It looked really weird.
Probably because it was.
Well, this whole pay-per-view
Probably because it
up.
was.
This whole pay-per-view was fucked up.
This is the match where I stopped taking notes after Shawn Michaels versus I don't even know who this person is. I had to look it up. I had to look it up because
versus Karma.
Yes, versus Karma without the H.
Don't you mean the Godfather?
Or Papa Shango?
Or Papa Shango, yeah.
The thing that bugs me about old WWE pay-per-views is that it's very hard if you were a new person, like somebody deciding you're flipping through the channels, and you're like, oh, well, let's see what this is about, I guess. They put the name cards of the person up on the screen for like 2 seconds, and then you never see them again. So then the rest of the time you're trying to listen to the commentaries to be like, okay, what the fuck is this person's name again? Like, clearly I know who Shawn Michaels is, but I wasn't familiar enough with the other guy to have known him. I wouldn't have been able to say, that's the Godfather. Like,
no, now newly crowned God the Father.
Oh, my bad.
See?
So, like, I'm sorry, I know that's a dumb thing when we're talking about dumb pay-per-views, but, like, that bothers me. That I had to, like, essentially put Shawn Michaels and then be like, well, I know the dude's with Ted DiBiase, but I'm going to have to Wikipedia who that guy is later.
Comma?
Yes.
It's Godfather and Papa Shango. That's all you really need to know.
Well, I know, but it still bothers me. It's something that in current WWE, their name card stays up for a while as they're walking down the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for new fans to engage and be like, okay, that person's name is this.
See, the thing is, you didn't grow up with this shit. I don't know about Guapo here, but I was forced to start watching in that year. So,
I didn't start watching wrestling until probably 97.
So 2 years after me. See,
yeah,
this is part of why I'm fucked up. Okay, when you grow up watching this and you get so pissed off at dumb shit, you eventually learn to love it. This was, without a doubt, the best pay-per-view they ever held because Vince McMahon told me to like it. That's part of it. Vince loves force-feeding this shit. It's like, I'll get to it later, because there's a point that has to be made once we get to the finals. But this match was not the typical Shawn Michaels stealer.
It was not a great Shawn Michaels match, and that's saying something.
And what bothered me is that it went to a draw.
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic. It hit a time limit.
Yeah, they had time limits back then, but...
Also, Ted DiBiase was in this match, too.
Oh, yes, because we haven't seen him enough. I'm just saying anything against the guy. Great talent, probably one of the best WWE legends ever. But goddamn! I don't need to see him every fucking segment.
He was until he was almost Razor Ramon was in this match, in this pay-per-view a lot. There was like 5 guys who were in this match a lot. Who were in this, not in this match, but in this pay-per-view a lot.
Should we move on to the next match?
Should we?
There wasn't really anything spectacular, except now we got probably the best match of the night. Mabel defeating The Undertaker. Let me repeat, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just letting you know I did not fuck that up. I fuck up a lot of shit. Okay? I stutter. I say things that are completely incorrect. But I did not fuck up that. Mabel defeating The Undertaker.
I have nothing to say to that. It's just,
It was a...
Boo.
This was the problem with early Undertaker matches is that Undertaker stayed true to his gimmick. He refused to break out the stuff that he could do because he so protected that gimmick back in the day. It wasn't until wrestling became more of a thing that he had to adapt and use his wrestling ability.
Mm-hmm.
But even when Undertaker breaks out in his Undertaker self that we had seen from WrestleMania 23 to 29.
Question: who's going through a wind tunnel?
That would be Guapo, because I hear it too.
My AC's on. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyways,
I'll move. Let me try to move the mic. It might not hit on this other side.
what do you get when you've got Undertaker trying to do his gimmick?
Much better.
Okay.
And then you've got Mabel.
Can you hear it still?
No, I'm fine now.
All right, good.
Mabel, who can't move. He's worse than Yoko.
It was bad. It's not good. It's not good. And they talk about, I started watching in this day. I started watching in this day. I started watching wrestling in, I think Monoxide can confirm, arguably the worst time to be watching wrestling.
Oh, it was the worst time.
I started watching wrestling in 2007.
It's only worse because of the Benoit thing. You got the tail end of the Benoit effect. I started watching when, like I said, everybody was an occupation. Everybody, we had pig farmers. I'm not even shitting you. We had pig farmers. See, that's the thing. You can't make this up. You can make up God going heel against Jesus. You can't make up pig farmers in a wrestling ring. Just saying. Anyway.
It's true. Next match. We had Savio with Razor Ramon versus The Roadie with Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, God. Was this...
Again...
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's like somebody put very similar characters into the WWE game and just had them wrestle, and their movesets are even similar.
This was the early version of create a character, and they just copied and pasted the same one and changed it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then here's the funny thing, guys. As of this point in the pay-per-view, you've seen Savio Vega 3 times in a wrestling match. Okay?
Yep.
Oh, yes, because he interfered in the Undertaker match.
Oh, so now it's 4 times.
He interfered in the Undertaker match, I think.
No. Karma, whatever, interfered in the Undertaker match.
Oh.
See, that's how similar everybody is.
I could have sworn they said.
Hey, can I borrow your homework? Hey, can I borrow your homework? Yeah, just change it up a little bit.
Yes.
No, you want to know why? Because Kama was feuding with the Undertaker at that time, and here's how the feud started. Kama stole his urn and burned it and made it into a gold chain necklace. That's how their feud started.
No.
That's almost as bad as when Kane started a feud with Randy Orton because he shook Randy Orton's hand and it made him feel weird.
Dude, I already told you the greatest feud ever was Kane and Chris Jericho because Chris Jericho spilled coffee on Kane. That is the greatest feud starter ever. I'm sorry. But, with that said, this match was, again, nothing. Just nothing in importance. But what was of importance was after this match, Savio had an interview with Doc Hendricks. And throughout the whole interview, Savio's talking in Spanish, and Doc is trying to translate what he's saying, and he's saying stuff like, yes, I did steal that man's hubcaps. And I'm like, okay, you're trying to pull in a Latino demographic by saying some racist stuff about Savio Vega. Way to go. I love it. I think I want to be Vince McMahon. I want to be able to
I may have blotted this whole promo out of my head.
I want to be.
I may have skipped a few times.
I want to be able to make $1 billion with these ideas, like he is. I want to be a billionaire.
That's not far off from Steve's from Monoxide's God turning heel promo. It's not. They're not too far off from each other.
Guys, I want $1 billion for my ideas. If Vince McMahon could do it, I want to be able to do it.
You just got to get a bunch of people to be like, yeah, sure, I'll go on TV and do that.
Let me see if Ted Turner's reconsidering about opening a wrestling company. I'll go up to him, give me the money. And then I'll just say, fuck you just gave me the money, I'm running off.
You're just going to make Chikara on acid.
Shakara mixed with like PWG, Alex's YLWA.
I was about to say you're making the real life version of YLLWA.
There you go. It's perfect. I'm telling you. It's like a wrestling show with South Park humor. It's great.
Guapo, this was a creator wrestler league, YLLWA, that was kind of like how COH is, but completely insane. Deidre and I were beautiful people characters, and my character was an idiot. Like, she was just supposed to be just an idiot. But Deidre didn't want to be the one talking by herself in most of the promos. So my character just, in order to make my character smart and intelligible for the promos, we literally just had her get clotheslined in the game, like really hard by somebody, and she went to the doctor and got her brain fixed, and then she wasn't an idiot anymore. And that was a fucking storyline.
It's better than the storyline that I had where me and Johnny Thunder had our grandmothers fighting each other.
Yes. I thought it was a don't touch my grandma
Oh,
match.
that's right. If any one of us touched each other's grandmothers, we would get disqualified. We had an idea. This was my idea. A taffy, lemons, and cookies match. TLC. It's perfect. But these ideas...
Anyways.
Yeah, these ideas are derailing us from this great pay-per-view. Anyways, the next match, Kiss My Foot match, between this 2-year-long feud with Jerry Lawler and Bret Hart, which all started...
By the way, in the promo that Bret Hart does, he could not be more disinterested in this match.
Look, this feud started 2 years ago because Bret Hart had won King of the Ring, and Jerry Lawler came out and attacked him. I'm the real king. Anyways, they had been going on for 2 years, on and off. On and off. But it led to...
I'm just saying, it looked like right before his promo started, they go, okay, Bret, we're going to film this promo, and, don't forget it's a loser kiss my foot match. Loser kisses the other one's foot. And he went, wait, really? And then they pushed record.
Yep, and, that was that. What's there to say about this match? It was theoretically the best story told because it had the most heat. Jerry Lawler was extremely hated. I'll give him that. He's the only one that knew how to get heat on the show.
Are we talking about the Kiss My Foot match?
Yeah, we're talking about the Kiss My Foot match.
Oh, Lord.
Do you have a lot to say about this?
That's it.
Good. Anyways, so they had this awesome match. Bret wins. And then, not only... I think Bret kind of stretched the rules here. Because the rules of the match were the loser has to kiss the opponent's feet. Okay, that happens. Except he didn't really kiss it, he ate it. He kind of like chewed on his toe. But then, Bret makes Jerry Lawler kisses his own feet. Now, if you weren't watching this pay-per-view, earlier in the promo, early in the pay-per-view, Jerry Lawler was in like a pig farm, rubbing his feet up against feces and dirt and mud, trying to make his feet as stinky as possible so that when he wins, Bret has to kiss it. So he kissed his own foot, started gagging, walked away. And that was that. That was this match, the match that got the most heat out of any match on the show. It was very slow because Jerry Lawler's too old school. He was Memphis territory, so it was too outdated. But it worked. And then the King of the Ring final. Okay. Before you guys say
it's not even the headliner. It's not even the main event.
That's part of it, but I just want to say something right now. Okay? The 1993 King of the Ring. I mean, they had King of the Rings prior, but the first pay-per-view, in the finals, you had Bret Hart and Bam Bam Bigelow. Okay, perfectly cool. 94, you had in the finals Owen Hart and Razor Ramon. Again, perfectly fine. 95, you get Savio Vega and Mabel. The entertaining aspect of this sport is so fucking fulfilling. There's a reason I asked these guys to watch this pay-per-view and review it. There's a significant thing. Remember?
Because he hates us and wants to torture us.
Well, yes, I do despise the both of you, in a way. But then again, I despise everybody equally, even my own.
I resent that, sir.
Well, I mean, I'm a Donald Trump guy, so I gotta hate you by default.
That's
Not
true.
really. Not really. Anyways, let me tell you why. Let's take you back 2 years ago. At the Royal Rumble 2015. Remember when we all found out Daniel Bryan, after being out for a year, had to get what was possibly Tommy John surgery? But then we found out he's coming back at the Rumble. And we were like, cool! He's going to make another triumphant comeback, and he's going to headline WrestleMania against Brock Lesnar. Perfect! That's going to be awesome. Well, during this time, he's building his comeback, and Roman Reigns is doing Suffer and Succotash promos. We get to the Rumble, Daniel Bryan's in there, and he gets eliminated. And then Roman Reigns comes out, and the people start to boo.
Very early. He gets eliminated very early. I remember this pay-per-view because it was one of the, maybe not the first ones, but one of the first ones that we did. Our Smart Marks group does a Royal Rumble pool where you count how many people there are, and you draw numbers. You divide up the numbers evenly. Everybody draws a certain amount of numbers, and whoever wins like everybody puts in $5. Whoever wins, they win the pot, and they also win a very cheesy belt that we've made. And they are the Royal Rumble champions.
Yes.
I think it was the first time we did it. We didn't have the belts at that point.
No, that's not the first time.
Well, it's the first time I think as a group we did it. Like,
I remember
our live group.
I won one of those pools. I was owed a shirt that I never got.
I think that was the ones that Brett was doing. This is the first one we did as our live group, as going to somebody's house and watching the pay-per-view and everything. And our buddy Hunter got Daniel Bryan, and he is maybe the biggest Daniel Bryan mark there is. Like, maybe not Boo Boo Loves Edge levels of Daniel Bryan mark, but fairly
pretty close. Pretty damn close.
Or melts in masala.
Like, he's bordering the Mickey James creeper on Trish Stratus.
Yes.
He's bordering that line.
And Daniel Bryan gets eliminated. Our buddy is at a level of salt that I usually only see when somebody loses at Smash Brothers really early or something. Or shit like that. He literally is so mad and so salty that he attempts to try and ruin the pay-per-view for the rest of us because it's on a little bit of a delay. And he's going online and he's going on Twitter and finding the results early so that he can spoil it.
Who is coming in next and everything.
Yes. And we have to, I don't know that we kicked him out, but I think Will threatened to kick him out.
I think he threatened to take his phone away.
Something like that.
That's what it was. Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But we were all very pissed about the whole thing. He was an extra level of pissed, but I believe the entire group was very upset.
All right. So, you got the image in your head. Daniel Bryan gets eliminated. Everyone's pissed. Roman Reigns comes out. Everyone's pissed.
Everyone is extra pissed.
Extra pissed because it's Roman Reigns.
Now, let me get to the
I think before you finish this, though, I think this wasn't the night. Never mind. Go ahead.
Thank you! Now,
But first,
I'll
let you finish.
I need a
I'll let you
distraction.
finish, but what I heard is that no, go ahead.
I need a distraction. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
That's the joke I was going for, but anyways.
So Roman wins, and everyone's angry because it's like, why are you taking Daniel Bryan away from us? Why are you giving us this guy? Now, you're probably asking yourself, why the fuck am I talking about this? This pay-per-view that we're reviewing, King of the Ring 95, is a pure exemplification of this. Alright? During the Mabel-Savio Vega match, fans are chanting ECW. This was the early stages of fans taking over the show. They were pissed at what they saw. Now, what we saw was, after the whole show of having to endure Savio Vega 3 other times, and then having to come out one more time, and then losing, what was the purpose of him having 4 matches in one night? First off. Secondly,
If he wasn't going to have his triumphant victory at the end.
Secondly, Mabel won. Mabel. Alright, let's talk about this. There was 3 guys that were super over, okay? Jerry Lawler, who, by all accounts, is just a commentator who wrestles part-time. Bret Hart, who is an accomplished guy, but he was kind of like, they put him to the side for Diesel, for the most part. And Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was fresh. He was brand new. He was different. He wasn't the stereotypical big man. And Shawn Michaels was super over tonight. He had just turned face. So, everybody loved him. And shockingly enough, he's a small guy. And it's like, wait a minute. He's over. He's getting a crowd reaction. He can work. He's very charismatic. And he's very entertaining. Why aren't you going with him? Well, because he's a little too small. We need to go with a guy by the name of Mabel. A big man who's rotund, who can barely move. Nothing against Nelson Frazier. From what I've heard, people who have ever worked with him in the independents, he was a pleasure to have. He was an angel to have. You ever needed him? He was the most reliable guy. He was very friendly to fans. Nothing against Nelson Frazier. I have nothing against him. But the fact is, this company was going big regardless of quality. And of course, Mabel was only wrestling like 2 years to that point. And it was the exemplification of, you want Shawn Michaels, you're getting Mabel. You want Daniel Bryan, you're getting Roman Reigns. We're choosing what we want. You just sit there and like it. Now, sometimes that works because at the end of the day, you're telling the story and we are the ones that want to buy into your story. But sometimes you just gotta strike when the iron is hot. It's like what Kurt Hawkins said. Why don't you just have superstars have Facebook instead of creating WWE Universe and try and reinvent the wheel? Just go with it. Shawn Michaels is over. Go with them. They eventually did and then released Mabel. You would think they would learn from their mistakes, but no. We had to relive it with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns.
Is there some deeper me?
Reigns. Why is there so wet?
I was about to ask if that was the pay-per-view. We have a very infamous Roman Reigns chant where we take the music of Roman Reigns. I don't think this was this pay-per-view, so that's why I stopped the story when I did. Roman Reigns is entertaining to our group now for one reason and one reason only. When his music hits, we start singing something like, Roman Reigns, why is he always wet?
Roman Reigns, the guy with the awesome something. I don't remember.
Roman Reigns!
I thought it was goatee. Awesome goatee.
Awesome goatee, yeah. Something like that.
Roman
The sweet
Reigns.
goatee.
His promos are on flashcards. That's great.
Roman Reigns, why do you always suck?
But nobody's talking about what happened after.
Is this a commentary of how WWE has basically never changed? They do the same shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
New faces, same shit.
New faces, same shit. But after this match, I
New
don't know.
phone, who dis?
Who do you have anything else to say about this match?
No.
Okay. Because after this match, King Mabel did his little coronation, Razor Ramon, 1, 2, 3 Kid, And Savio before that they got destroyed, and then they tried to attack him when they did the coronation with Mo and Mabel. Right after this is my favorite moment of the pay-per-view. Jerry Lawler is seen in the back, and Vince McMahon's asking for his condition. He throws up in the sink, and he's gouging his mouth with toothpaste and mouthwash. So, Vince McMahon's laughing at somebody else's misery. He's like, ha ha ha, ha ha, ha ha. Okay. But what's fucking funny to me is that this is 1995. They were still family-friendly oriented. Now, on the West Coast, they're 3 hours behind. So, this must have happened at roughly 7 o'clock when family's having dinner. So imagine family having dinner watching Jerry Lawler throw up in a sink. It's awesome. How do you not get entertained by this?
I am not sports entertained.
How are you not sports entertained by Jerry Lawler
regurgitating? I am not sports entertained.
You lie. You lie.
Why would anybody be sports entertained with that?
But what's more entertaining is the promos that come. I don't remember exactly what was said, but they did promos with the tag teams in the main event. They went into
which, by the way, the King of the Ring tournament, the pay-per-view's namesake is not even the main event of this pay-per-view.
The main event, we have Tatanka and Psycho Sid. They do a promo. I don't remember what they said. I just remember at some point, Tatanka gets to talk, and he starts off his promo with, "That's right, Bam Bam Bigelow." It's with an O.
Silverdome, brother.
Exactly. And then they cut to Bam Bam and Diesel, and then I don't remember this promo either, but I remember at some point Diesel referred to Tatanka as Pocahontas. The cleverest insult that any man has ever come up with.
All right.
He called Tatanka Pocahontas. It's fucking... He was Donald Trump before Donald Trump was Donald Trump. It's awesome. I'm amazed. So we have this main event. Diesel and Bam Bam Bigelow against Tatanka and Psycho Sid. You see, they were building towards Diesel and Sid. And could you imagine to yourself, all four of these men jacked up, Bam Bam can move, Diesel has shitty knees, Psycho Sid just has shitty wrestling ability, even though I love Sid, and Tatanka, well, he's Tatanka.
Tatanka. He's Tatanka.
He was great in 93, but 95, he was damaged goods by this point. They had a fucking know-nothing match.
At the main event of a pay-per-view. At the main event of a pay-per-view.
The main event! They had a know-nothing match. It was boring as hell. Let me reiterate to this to all you people. We had 9 matches on this card. Have any of us complimented one of these matches at all?
Nope.
That's a negative, Ghost Rider.
Most illogical. Most illogical. Where's Leonard Nimoy when I need him? This was the most illogical pay-per-view, but it was awesome at the same time. You get a pay-per-view where you don't get a title match, and the King of the Ring isn't even in the finals. So, what's more to say?
I got nothing. Actually, you know what I have to say? Let's talk about Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, yes, Great Balls of Fire.
And now, in the next segment, we shall talk about Great Balls of Fire.
I'm sorry, what? Can you repeat that?
That was impressive. No, don't.
Repeat it, please, because I couldn't hear you.
Okay.
Please, no.
Great Balls of Fire.
No. In between the buh and alls, like you said something there.
Balls of Fire.
It was a lot longer and more stretched out.
Oh, you mean like Great Balls of Fire?
No, a little longer than that. Like long. Like.
Oh, you want
the
okay.
The joke's not dead horse, guys. Dead horse.
You're a dead horse.
Yeah.
Your face is a dead horse.
Ooh! Burn!
So's your face.
I have a burnt face.
Yes.
What am I, Two-Face? Am I Harvey Dent?
Anyways.
Am I Harvey Dent?
Anyways, so cutting to a more modern pay-per-view with an awful name.
Awful name, but should have been called Bad Blood, it looks like.
This was a pay-per-view that had so much potential, and then they kind of just was lukewarm at best.
You didn't like it? Because I enjoyed the whole pay-per-view.
I was lukewarm on it for some reason.
How dare you?
Warm
Kristen
on
didn't like
fire.
Maybe it's because Samoa Joe didn't win at the end.
Well, were you really expecting him to win?
A little bit.
I really did think he was going to win.
I was 100%.
But I'm a little selfish in saying that I am sick of Brock Lesnar being champion because I want my champion back on Raw.
I knew Lesnar was winning from the minute that match was announced. But, regardless, the pay-per-view. You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain! Neville and Akira Tozawa. Because the Cruiserweight title. Did anybody watch this?
Honestly, I missed it.
I seriously believe, after tonight, or after that night, Akira Tozawa needs a shirt. And it should just have his face. Just his head, his face, and it has ha, 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 all over the shirt. The whole shirt's gotta have ha, 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 and maybe on the side just a little bit of a trademark that says Titus Brand. I think that shirt will sell millions. Guys, my ideas are so awesome. I still need a job. I want to be a billionaire.
Only if you bring me with you.
I could, but Donald Trump would not like that.
Yes,
it's
but
okay.
you need
me and the
yes
Trump
man.
man. We're on the same pitch.
And clearly, Donald Trump can get behind somebody needing a yes man.
¿Qué pasa?
Sí, señor.
Oh, you know something? I know nothing? Okay, anyway. Why did Neville retain?
Because fuck you for thinking that he would not retain.
I thought he would retain.
I also thought he was going to retain, but however, I also agree he needs to drop that title sooner or later. Because it's not that I dislike the King Neville or wherever the hell he wants to do.
He's the king. He's king of the cruiserweights.
He's becoming more and more of the king on top of the mountain type feel, and I'm getting more and more of a Hobbit type feel from him. So, yeah.
He was supposed to be Mighty Mouse.
He was supposed to be Mighty Mouse. You are very correct, sir. So, I don't know. I think he needs to drop it so he has some competition actually with somebody chasing the title again. But
I agree.
Honestly, I'm not sure what cruiserweight you put it on unless... Oh, wait, we could just put it on Austin Aries. That'll be perfect, right?
Why? Why you guys say that, man? We're still...
Because you have one of the best cruiserweights or best wrestlers in wrestling, and you let him walk.
Yeah, but they weren't. He wasn't going to be able to stay. He had a nasty attitude, apparently. And
he's Austin Aries. He can have a nasty attitude.
Yeah, that got CM Punk really far.
Well, it did. True. Actually, he became world champion.
For a minute.
But
434 days!
The only thing I can see is them calling... I don't know. It would be great if they can get fucking Ibushi to come and do that, but...
He ain't doing it.
Who knows?
He already said that he likes his schedule, so...
Not doing nothing and only working twice every other month?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, if he makes enough money do it, who wouldn't like that schedule?
True.
Just ask anybody
who's there's a reason
by WCW.
There's a reason why the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and all of them haven't jumped ship over here yet.
Yes, because they look at Austin Aries and they're like, never mind.
I'm sure they look at other ones, but still... Man can hope.
Well,
that's what I've always said to a bunch of guys who, a bunch of, indie wrestling fans who were like, man, they need to bring so-and-so over. They need to bring so-and-so over. I love some of these indie guys. They can't wrestle like they did in the indies, in WWE. You just can't. I mean, a lot of people gave Triple H shit for saying, like, this is the NFL, and, like, but it is. It's different to wrestle in the indies than it is to wrestle in WWE.
He's gonna do a package pile driver, Kristen. I don't care what you say.
He's not going to. The indies, you're wrestling, a couple times a month. WWE, you're wrestling a couple times a week. Sometimes you're wrestling, depending on if you're on house shows and if there's a pay-per-view, you're wrestling, 4 to 5 times a week. And you're flying back and forth, and you can't take a dive onto some thumbtacks like every fucking night. You can't jump off of the cage into the crowd on top of some other dude every night. Why not? Because you'll die. How many times did we watch pay-per-views and think, oh my god, I just watched Seth Rollins die?
Every pay-per-view he's on.
Literally
every pay-per-view he's on.
That's the beauty of a great worker.
The man can work.
Yes, work.
Yes, but he doesn't do that every night.
He works.
You know why Seth Rollins does all this? Because he's a spot monkey.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because he's Seth freaking Rollins.
Why would I say because he's Seth freaking Rollins?
Because that's his thing.
Because he's a spot monkey.
That may be Seth's thing, but that's not our thing. Our thing here is to piss people off. Well, at least that's my thing.
Somebody's thing. Why are you talking about things?
I don't know. Just things.
Speaking of
Seth Rollins, it is Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins in a match that I don't know why it's happening. And up next... Holy fuck, they let Bray win.
I'm just saying.
I can't breathe.
I think I just gave her a heart attack, ladies and gentlemen.
We broke Kristen.
She's broken! Wonderful, yeah! All I did was a Bray Wyatt promo ending. He goes out there and says, I'm the hero of the world.
Oh my god.
Seth.
Kristen, you good? Breathe.
I am your god. Run.
It was just so perfectly timed. It's Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt, and I don't know why they're having this match, man. Dude.
It's great.
Oh my god.
Me and Monoxide talked about this beforehand.
Oh my god. It was like when, it's not a reference that Guapo is going to get, but it's like when David was talking about going outside. Our friend David is English or is from the UK. He's talking about going outside and he goes, it's pissing rain outside. And I'm like, what?
Somebody's urinating on him.
And then I laughed for like 20 minutes.
Yes.
So I just imagine somebody standing outside his house peeing on him.
Yeah,
anyways, I don't even know how to segue from that.
Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. It was a good match, I thought.
Well, clearly it was going to be a good match.
However, just the lack of, I guess, storytelling behind the match, not the actual match itself, is kind of what...
There was little story.
Bray Wyatt... Bray Wyatt's...
Hear me out. Bray Wyatt believes that Seth Rollins is living a lie. So therefore, he's going to save him from the lie. Because he is your god. He's
by
the
beating it out of him.
And then... Run. There you go. Perfect. And then, on top of that, was this tonight or on this pay-per-view or the next show? He disappeared. He just
Monday?
It was
Yeah, it
Monday.
was Monday.
Yeah, he was in the ring. Oh, it was the rematch. Yeah, he beat him. Lights went out, and he disappeared. He's a magician now.
He's the Undertaker.
Yeah, Bray Houdini Wyatt. That's his. I think that's his middle name, Houdini, or David Blaine, or Chris Angel, whatever.
Next, he's gonna start coming out with an urn.
Maybe.
Oh, God.
He should have the opposite streak of the Undertaker.
He just loses all the time.
No, at WrestleMania, because he's like 0-3 or whatever. It'll be the streak where he loses all the time. Which, by the way, speaking of streaks, did you know, even with WrestleMania 33, The Miz has never been pinned or submitted? Because at WrestleMania 33, he was not the legal man. It was Maurice who was legal. So therefore, from the time that Miz has competed his first Mania to now, he has never been pinned or submitted. Just thought I'd throw that tidbit out there.
Pinned or submitted at Mania.
At Mania. 25, he was in the pre-show. John Morrison ate the pin to the Colognes. 26, he was in the tag team match. He won that. I think he was the guy who pinned. 27, he beat John Cena. He beat John Cena! 28,
How did he wrestle by himself in a ring at WrestleMania?
That's true. He wrestled the ghost of Owen Hart or something. I don't know. 28, he helped Team Johnny beat Team Teddy. 29, he beat Wade Barrett in the pre-show. 30, 31, and 32 were all multi-man matches that didn't involve pins or submissions. So therefore, he's yet to been pinned or submitted. And 33, as I said, he was not the legal man. It was Maurice.
The man has a point.
The Miz is still undefeated at Mania, and you know who else is undefeated? Matt Hardy! Yeah! He has not been pinned or submitted either.
This has been trivia with Monoxide.
Are we moving on to the next match?
Okay, yes. Esno.
So
Amore.
now let's talk about a murder.
Yeah,
Murder?
Esno Amore.
Big Cash.
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up murdered Enzo.
Yeah.
Which I totally predicted was going to happen. I knew he wasn't going to win.
His name is Big Cass, because when he was standing in front of the Titantron, I only saw a big ass. I guess
No.
It's
I thought it was Casshole.
He
right?
is definitely a casshole, for sure.
Gotcha.
Colin Cassidy. He won't even go back to that. He's just going to be.
I love that when you move from NXT to WWE, with a few exceptions, you lose one of your names.
Enzo has his full name.
That's true, but they still just call him Enzo. How often do they call him Enzo Amore?
It's Esno, okay? Jericho said
Esno.
Esno.
Except for him, he still calls himself Enzo Amore.
I don't know. It's still listed on .com as Enzo Amore, so.
I still think this whole feud is just centered around bad grammar and terrible, terrible ebonics.
You gotta let it go, man.
It's still, come on.
You gotta let it go.
But
Amore is still spelling soft wrong.
But that promo though, before the match, was great.
Here's the thing though. If they were gonna have him cut that great of a promo, why have him get completely dominated?
Because he's still tiny.
Because he is the future of the Cruiserweight division.
He should be Mighty Mouse.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Could you imagine Esno Amore being like the Blue Blazer flying around without the tragic ending? Just have him fly around, you know? That'd be great.
I'm going to stop you there and say no.
I'm going to go ahead and go with a no.
He'll fly around and scream, "How you doing?" while he's flying around. It'd be great.
So, any comments, concerns about this match and the leadings
concerned.
out of this?
Very concerned of Esno's future.
What does happen to Enzo and Cass for that matter after this?
Well,
Cass is going to have some type of feud with Big Show for some reason. And then he's gonna fade. Then he'll probably fade away into obscurity, and Enzo's gonna get a push in cruiserweights.
And that's a maybe. That's
probably.
Even if they even use him. He may just be like.
Or he becomes one of the best managers ever.
He'll be Primo and Epico, just useless.
Yeah.
Jobless.
Jobless, there you go.
I believe I know what time it is now.
Yeah!
Yes! The 30 minutes, first ever 30 minutes Iron Man tag match.
Which they lost.
No.
By 1 second.
Yes. You had
They still
Cesaro
lost.
and Sheamus versus Brother Nero.
They didn't lose by 1 second. They would have tied in 1 second.
No, you know what the problem is? I got it.
And it goes to sudden death if they tied.
The Hardy Boys didn't have their manager King Maxwell there.
That's
I believe he would have been the game changer.
There was no King Maxwell. There was no Rebby Hardy.
Or Senor Benjamin.
Oh no, not the Senor Benjamin. If Senor Benjamin was present,
here's the part of the show where they do a bunch of references that I don't understand because I don't watch.
Vanguard 1 would have been perfect in this match.
Yes.
Okay, you need to watch the broken Matt Hardy promos.
You need to watch all. You need to watch first. You need to watch. What was the first one? Shit.
So many. It's so great.
Crap. The final deletion.
Oh, final deletion. Yeah.
Yes, Brother Nero. I knew you'd come.
And he's playing a violin too.
Yeah.
Right before he comes. It's great. Vanguard 1 sends the message. It's like a drone that goes over to Jeff Hardy's house.
And then he cuts Jeff's perfectly manicured lawn.
It's fucking awesome. My favorite to this day, I think it was a Christmas episode, where Rebby Sky is playing on the piano, and her and Jeff Hardy are singing Obsolete. And Jeff Hardy is like, Rebby, your performance is magical! King Maxwell, take it away! And you see King Maxwell playing on a toy piano, and he's just banging on it like ding, ding, ding. And Matt Hardy goes, or excuse me, he goes, King Maxwell, your performance has just rendered me a premonition.
Yeah.
And he has to go to the Zone of Impact, where he's going to face the Bucks of Youth.
Oh, no. It's on Impact? Then I'm going to go ahead and pass.
Not those Bucks of Youth.
No, you just type in broken Matt Hardy promo. It's awesome. The shit they do is great.
But yeah. So, first fall went to Sheamus and Cesaro fairly quick.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this entire storytelling behind the entire match. I loved how they had, I want to say Enzo and Cass for some reason. Sheamus and Cesaro constantly on the Hardys. They never gave them a break or a time to build a lot of momentum. Exactly. So this match was definitely match of the night for me.
Yeah, I guess.
And any other comments about this match, Kristen?
No.
Okay, moving on.
No.
And now
she just doesn't understand the broken brilliance. Don't worry.
No, she doesn't understand the broken brilliance because she will fade away, and we will classify her as obsolete.
Yes. As well
you will be deleted.
As well as Meek Mahan. Alright, screw that up. It's Meek Mahan!
You were just mad that Broken Matt and Brother Caminero have made their way to the land of Meek Mahan in the WWE.
It's Meek
Sure
Mahan.
They have.
Meek Mahan.
After
it's gonna be just like that time. It's gonna be just like that time when the Bullet Club came to WWE. Oh wait.
Here's the difference, though. They made references on Raw. Strong references.
Exactly.
Anyway, now for the boring match.
Hey. No, sir.
Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss.
Great match.
I disagree.
With who?
Strongly disagree with Monoxide.
Thank you, because this match was great.
I was bored.
strongly
I love
disagree.
this match. I went and took my shit in the next match.
Listen,
Thank you.
if a match is like this, it's supposed to end in count out on a pay-per-view.
It's within Alexa's character to try and weasel out. She's essentially female Edge.
Psychology.
A pay-per-view, though.
She's female Edge. That is totally within her character.
But on pay-per-view.
It happens.
I'm okay with it.
It happens way too often. And
they can do no wrong.
Well, then again, you know what? Vince McMahon told me to like it, so I like it.
Exactly.
Right. And so we move on to the shit. Miz versus Dean Ambrose for their 1000th match.
There should have been confetti and balloons and stuff.
Now keep in mind, the 1000 match, that's not including house shows.
That's not including house shows.
Seriously, can we not see the Miz versus Dean Ambrose anymore?
Hey, look, at least they're not on the John Cena, Randy Orton level of matches.
Well, nobody's on that level yet.
Because nobody can get to that level. Because we still have time for more Randy Orton versus John Cena matches.
Wait a minute. That's awesome. The main event, WrestleMania 34, Randy Orton versus John Cena, once in a lifetime.
God, no.
That is so awesome. They'll tease it like they've never faced each other before. They will completely black out their whole history.
I will walk out before the main event if it's John Cena versus Randy Orton again.
You can't say shit like that, Monoxide, because that's
this will be the one clip that WWE hears and they're going to do it.
That's a very probable thing.
And I
like
think,
that could actually happen.
And I think it should be a 5-hour Iron Man match. Oh, that would be so awesome.
I don't think either one could last more than 30 minutes at this point.
Exactly.
But that's what makes it great. By the 30-minute mark, they'll be laying around. And then for the next 4.5 hours, we get to watch them try and limber their way through. Oh, God, I'm a genius. Anyways, Dean Ambrose and The Miz. For how many times?
It's been a lot.
Too many.
It's
1,000
too many.
1,000th power. That's what it was.
Can we get Miz a new, opponent? Can we?
Hopefully very soon. I'm pulling for them to have what is the name? Honestly, I wouldn't mind to see if they. I know they joked around with it a couple weeks ago. Heath Slater. If they had Heath Slater as IC title holder right now, I would be pretty okay with it.
I'd be okay with it. I was hoping we were talking about it last week. I was hoping since the Titus brand thing is doing well, Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I like Apollo Crews. He'd be a great cruiserweight as well. Only problem with that is I'm sorry, I said cruiserweight, Intercontinental title. Only problem with that is, I don't see them doing that.
Well, no, because they don't know what to do with Apollo Crews.
Exactly. They don't know what to do with Apollo Crews, and also they don't know what to do with half their roster. The fact that I have to go on WWE.com right now to think of the other male talents on WWE Raw right now is terrible.
I think, personally, he has a great gimmick. Apollo Crews is the black guy who smiles. What more do you want? What more could you possibly want?
I'd be okay if they put the IC title on Finn. That'd be good.
It'd be a downgrade for Finn.
Of course it would, because I still believe that he needs to get his rematch. But Lord knows that's not happening anytime soon.
Well, they're a little gun shy with him just because he got injured the first night they gave it to him.
That was just a bad accident.
It was Seth's fault.
Quick side note. No, it wasn't. It was not.
It was Finn's fault.
Has either one of you watched WWE's 24 on their network on Finn Balor?
I saw him stick his arm out, which was the one he shouldn't do.
Exactly.
How dare you? It's never Finn's fault.
Hey, here's a good Intercontinental title holder. Mark Henry. I would not mind Mark Henry holding the title.
Is Mark Henry on Raw?
That's what .com has him under.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And if you want to piss people off, Elias Sampson.
Yes, the Drifter.
Actually, yes, except that he's heel right now.
Who cares?
Exactly.
He's the Drifter. It's awesome. Anyways, now for my favorite match of the night. Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
I don't know why all of you guys were so hyped about this match. This is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
It was fucking great. Braun Strowman. Just the name, first off. The man behind the name. The greatness that is Braun Strowman. Alright? Just him in a match. It's there's something about a Braun Strowman match that you know is going to be hilariously great.
It was awesome. Thank you.
Exactly. He squashed Roman Reigns for a good portion. Roman Reigns made his comeback.
I mean, come on. We know what we're getting with Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. It was going to be a spot fest of big fucking physical moves. And having Braun basically manhandle Roman for majority of the match was great. And the best part is Roman made himself lose. It's a win-win for everybody.
It's like they made Roman so stupid. Go for the spear, why don't you? He ain't gonna move out of the way.
He's too slow to move out the way.
Yeah.
But can we talk about the second murder of the night? Or attempted murder?
And
everybody was saying it was attempted murder.
And he's
Technically
still
it
face.
was.
He's still babyface.
I don't understand that. How the fuck do you attempt murder and still be babyface? How?
I don't know. Ask Steve Austin.
I was about to say, because Stone Cold Steve Austin said so.
That's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was over as fuck and nobody was gonna boo him.
You know why? Here's the thing. Here's the difference. Different times. Now
I did it for my family. I did it for The Rock.
I did it for the people. But yes, this is different times now. Obviously, heels get cheered. There are faces that get booed. But the reason this makes no fucking sense is that the aftermath. Okay? While this was going on, Heath Slater and Kurt Hawkins had a match. Okay, you didn't really get to see much of it because they went in and out between that and the ambulance. But they get Braun Strowman out, and he totally comes out of it like he's tripping all over the place, and he refuses assistance. He's bleeding and all that, and he walks away. This was reminiscent of the Bret Hart Steve Austin ending, where at WrestleMania, where they did the double turn. Bret went heel, Steve Austin went face. This totally reeked of a double turn. Braun went face and Roman went heel. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't watch this and then watch Raw the next night. Because Roman wasn't acting any different per se, but he was still a face. Now this is why I get pissed off when people say, oh yeah, Roman's such a great effective heel. He's not an effective heel. He's a fucking baby face that's failing at his job. When he came out, what was the first thing we noticed? The first thing they did was they focused on two signs that were complimenting Roman Reigns.
Because that's all he got.
And, on top of it, they still constantly edit his fucking footage.
You know what the best part is? That, those signs are probably people that they placed.
Okay, even if that's the case, and even if that's the only two signs that they had, they still focused on the only two signs that had any sort of complimentary, thing about it. They wouldn't. There was a Roman suck sign somewhere along the way, but they made sure to make that just the background. They still want this guy to be a babyface, and that's just how it is, guys. Roman is a babyface. Take it or leave it.
I'm gonna leave it.
Leave it.
I don't know. Vince tells me to
Fuck
like
you,
it.
Roman.
Vince tells me to like
Fuck
it,
you,
so I will
Roman.
like it. God damn it! Why aren't the people cheering for Roman? Oh, I get it.
Because
He
Roman
needs to
sucks.
destroy John Cena. Oh, that'll
Alright.
get the people to like him.
So, since we're getting out of this, let's talk about the actual match of the night, guys. Heath Slater versus Kurt Hawkins.
Oh,
Clearly,
this was
match
awesome.
of the night.
This was awesome, jam-packed Iron
Why
Man.
was this not the main event?
Dude, this was my favorite match because it was a 2-minute Iron Man match.
I know, I saw it. We also need to talk about Kurt Hawkins' tweet about it, about the finish of the match, that since none of us actually got to see the finish, apparently Heath Slater beat Kurt Hawkins with a Canadian Destroyer off the top rope of the turnbuckle.
That's what I heard.
God, why wasn't that televised?
Because we had an ambulance to focus on.
Alright, guys. And now, it's time for the main event! First, the challenger, hailing from the Isles of Samoa, a.k.a. SoCal.
I was about to say, I'm just letting you do this
Samoa
bit.
Joe. And the champion, Paul Heyman's client, Brock Lesnar.
You almost had it. You just needed to say Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman, yeah.
Paul Heyman. My client. That's it.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman.
I forget about them people calling him Paulie.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Fair enough. Okay, so we had a 6-minute match. The only thing I remember out of this was Samoa Joe constantly tried to lock in the, what is it called? The Kokita Clutch?
Yeah, Kokita Clutch, something like that.
And he couldn't get it locked in, and Brock basically did a bunch of German suplexes. There was one point where Samoa Joe did the low blow, tried the Kokita Clutch again, and then Brock just basically did an F5, and that was it. That's all I remember. I can't say if it was bad or good. That's all I remember. And probably that was the whole entire match, because it wasn't that long.
Correct. The match altogether wasn't that great, but the problem with that was, A, it was only 6 minutes. B, they had Joe lose.
I'm just so upset to not have a champion on Raw, because we don't have a fucking champion. We haven't had a champion on Raw since Mania.
Yep. Actually, before Mania.
That's true, because Goldberg was champion before that.
We have not had a actual champion since when Goldberg win it? Was it Fastlane?
Fastlane.
We have not had a champion on Raw since fucking Fastlane.
That ain't right.
What the fuck?
That definitely ain't right.
That ain't right.
Are you telling me? Hold up. Are you telling me?
I am telling you.
You do
good
not
sir.
like that Vince McMahon is giving you part-timers?
Sir?
No.
Sir, I do not care about the part-timers. What I care about is a title on the part-timers, sir!
It was interesting at first because it gave a lot more room to, like, the tag titles and the Intercontinental title and the women's title and everything, so it gave them a little more room to breathe. I'm over it now. I want my main title back on Raw.
Alright, tell you what, we'll make it up to you. We'll put the title on John Cena.
Dude,
The worst
I'd
part
even
is
be
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with that at this point.
And the other champion will be Randy Orton. And that'll set up the 5-hour Iron Man match at WrestleMania 34.
Get the fuck off this call.
Are you not sports entertained? Come on. This is perfect.
That is like levels of bad, like Jerry Lawler throwing up in a sink bad.
Next, you're gonna tell me that they're gonna put the SmackDown tag titles on the Colognes.
Except they don't have a job.
Exactly. They were the inspiration to Heath Slater's gimmick. That ain't gonna happen. And if
They actually don't have a job. They asked for their release. They were released as well.
You just gave me a great idea.
What's that?
Yeah.
You just gave me a great idea.
What
was that idea, sir?
The Cologne should come out with the toy SmackDown titles. Like the toys like the kids wear. And they should pretend they're SmackDown champions and actually make them legitimate titles at some point. fucking awesome.
So exactly what I said that they should have did with Miz and Mizdow, or what Miz and Mizdow did,
No,
where
but-
Miz held both tag shot titles while Mizdow had 2 toy ones.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. These will actually become legitimate titles that people will care about. And they're toys.
So you're saying make another tag title belt?
No. Just go into your inventory at WWE Shop, find 2 tag titles that you probably aren't going to sell, doesn't matter, and use them as props for the titles. That's it. Perfect.
So they have a storyline where they someone gives them these titles, and then they think that they're champions.
They were donated, okay? Like donated for people who don't have enough money to afford clothing, so they just
Because they
donated.
live in Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico's poor.
Well, I don't say Puerto Rico's poor, but probably where they are is poor because they don't have jobs.
But they're the stars of the Caribbean.
That's what they say. It's a facade. You got to understand, they dress to impress. And I can't believe we're having this conversation. So, on that note, that was fascinating.
That was Fastlane.
That was
Yeah, might as well
Yeah,
been. Yeah,
might as well have
you
been.
know,
Great Balls of Fire.
Crazy balls of fire, whatever. You know.
Side note:
Something,
they
Great
should have
Balls of
called this.
Fire.
They should have called this pay-per-view Bad Blood with the amount of blood they got from a lot of people.
Alexa Bliss, Matt Hardy,
Bliss, Hardy,
Strowman.
Enzo was bleeding a tad bit. Strowman, and I think Lesnar. Joe. I don't think one of them was bleeding. Maybe, probably not.
Who cares?
I don't know.
Anyways, that was
That was great. Balls of fire.
Oh, I thought it was Great Balls of Fastlane, but anyways,
Yes, it's Fastlane.
there we go.
Fastlane at the Silverdome, brother.
Oh, brother! Cunt Hogan, brother! Anyways,
What did you just say?
it's Cunt Hogan, brother. That's
Exactly what I thought you said.
That was from Old School Wrestling Central, I believe.
So that means next week we have our go home show to Backlash, correct?
Maybe.
Yep.
Who knows? But we will review it then. For now, I think we've bored these people long enough. Actually, no, we've entertained them so good.
You have been sports entertained.
And we
You've
only
all
talked
been
about Trump like 3 times.
Exactly.
All right, so we'll dumb it down to 2.5 for the next one.
We'll eventually just not talk about him at all.
Maybe we'll convert to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, everybody.
I love Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yes, we all love
no.
Bernie Sanders. He's saving us from an unjust war.
Bernie Sanders is that old. I keep expecting him to yell at people to get off his lawn.
Oh, get off my lawn! And let me pay for your college.
Also, I think Bernie Sanders would have made a great president just because of the fact that he would have known exactly what the Founding Fathers would have wanted, because I figure that he was around about the same time that they were.
Look, unless there's no possible way he was around the same time because, I mean, he was nowhere in Hamilton, so, you know.
He was one of those minor characters in Hamilton. He was one of those background singers.
Right,
Gotcha.
Let me end this before it gets too political for you.
He was one of the guys during the rap battles. I was like, oh shit.
While she's talking, I'm ending it. See y'all later.
Adios,
Bye.
amigos.